streets of New York, the city hummed with life, unaware of the storm brewing in its underworld. The Albanian Mafia, previously scattered and small, had begun a silent rise. At the center was Dritan Kelmendi, a cold, calculating man in his late 30s whose eyes reflected both ambition and menace. Unlike other gangsters, Dritan avoided unnecessary noise. His strategies were executed in shadows. For years, rival gangs underestimated the Albanians, seeing them as outsiders. But Dritan had plans that would shake the very foundation of organized crime in America. His first move was subtle, infiltrating key businesses to launder money, quietly bribing law enforcement, and slowly taking over small illegal territories. Within months, whispers spread among the underground networks. Streets that once belonged to Italian and Russian mobs now had new owners. But Dritan's rise was not just about power. It was about fear. He ensured every act sent a message. Betrayal or resistance would be met with brutality. By the end of the first year, a series of unexplained disappearances and arsons shockwaves through rival gangs. No one knew the mastermind, only that a shadow had emerged, and it was deadly. By the second year, Dritan had consolidated his influence. To strengthen his position, he formed secret alliances with smaller gangs across Brooklyn and Queens. These pacts weren't based on friendship, but fear. Every handshake was sealed with a warning. Betrayal meant death. The first major violent act came during a clandestine meeting of rival leaders. Dritan orchestrated a trap, ensuring that the opposition would never see him. Explosions, gunfire, and screams echoed through the night. Those who survived carried the chilling message back to their territories. The Albanians were no longer a minor threat. Dritan's lieutenant, Albanian Mafia, a brutal enforcer with a knack for intimidation, played a crucial role. He was feared for his precision. Every strike he made was calculated, leaving no witnesses. The streets whispered his name in terror, and law enforcement quietly noted a new pattern. Albanians were rising, and the city would never be the same. With alliances solidified, the Albanians expanded aggressively. Drug trade, extortion, and illegal gambling became their primary revenue streams. But expansion meant confrontation. Italian mobs and Russian gangs resisted, leading to brutal clashes. In one night of orchestrated chaos, multiple key figures from rival gangs were assassinated. Cars exploded on deserted streets, and warehouses were set ablaze. These were not random acts. They were messages meticulously designed to instill fear. Dritan's strategy was psychological warfare as much as physical domination. Communities near these areas noticed the sudden shift. Businesses shuttered early, streets emptied at night, and whispers of an unstoppable mafia circulated in every bar and cafe. The Albanians were not just another gang. They were a force rewriting the rules of the American underworld. Power, however, brought its own dangers. Ambition within the Albanian ranks created cracks. Albin, once loyal, began to covet Dritan's position. Tensions escalated when a secret deal with a rival gang was leaked, jeopardizing the empire. Dritan, always vigilant, discovered the betrayal. He responded not with haste, but with calculated terror. Albin was lured to a meeting under false pretenses. The night ended with Albin's disappearance, sending a clear message. Loyalty was mandatory. The Albanian Mafia's internal code was ruthless, and no one was exempt. The increasing violence drew attention. FBI and NYPD formed a joint task force to investigate. Surveillance, informants, and undercover operations began to unravel Dritan's empire. Yet, he remained elusive, moving in the shadows, leaving minimal evidence. Several high-profile arrests were made of minor associates, but Dritan's direct influence remained untouched. He had anticipated this. Contingency plans were in place. Businesses were quickly sold, accounts cleaned, and witnesses intimidated. The law was chasing a ghost, unaware that the real power was always steps ahead. News outlets began reporting a mysterious surge in violent crimes linked to the Albanian Mafia. Rumors of an invisible kingpin spread through tabloids, online forums, and social media. Public curiosity surged, but fear kept witnesses silent. Dritan understood the media's influence. He allowed carefully timed leaks to enhance his reputation, ensuring both rivals and authorities feared him. The Underworld was not just about bullets anymore. It was about perception, manipulation, and psychological dominance. After years of strategic dominance, Dritan faced the ultimate challenge, a coalition of all rival gangs and federal forces. The showdown took place in the abandoned industrial district of Brooklyn. Gunfire erupted, explosions shattered the silence, and chaos ruled the night. Yet, Dritan's meticulous planning gave his men the upper hand. Rival leaders fell one by one. By dawn, the city witnessed the full extent of the Albanian Mafia's power. The message was unmistakable. No one could challenge Dritan Kelmendi without facing annihilation. In the aftermath, the Albanian Mafia emerged unscathed, controlling territories across New York and beyond. Dritan remained in the shadows, rarely seen, but his influence was absolute. The streets learned to whisper his name in fear. Law enforcement continued to investigate, but evidence remained scarce. Minor arrests occurred, but the kingpin was untouchable. The empire thrived on secrecy, fear, and precision. As New York slept, the city below its bright skyline pulsed with a hidden reality. Power, betrayal, and violence ruled the shadows. The Albanian Mafia had not just arrived. They had rewritten the rules of the underworld forever.